Priska first laid eyes on Edward at a charity gala she reluctantly attended at her father's request. Initially, she found solace in a secluded corner of the opulent ballroom, away from the throngs of people she barely knew. The gentle strums of a guitar and a voice smooth as honey drew her attention.
It was him, Edward, with a smile that could melt glaciers.
His voice resonated through the hall, each note a tug on Priska's heartstrings. She found herself captivated by his performance, drawn in like a moth to a flame. That night, their paths crossed during a lull in the music.
With his easy charm and genuine warmth, he managed to break through her reserved exterior.
As they talked, Priska discovered a shared love for classic literature and vintage films. Edward's passion for music was contagious, his melodies painting vivid pictures in her mind. They danced under the shimmering chandeliers, their laughter echoing through the grand hall. With each passing moment, Priska found herself falling deeper into the depths of Edward's charm. He was everything she ever desired, talented, kind, and attentive. He made her feel seen, appreciated, a stark contrast to the often stifling world of wealth she was accustomed to. Their courtship was a whirlwind of romantic gestures and shared dreams. Edward filled Priska's life with music, laughter, and a love she believed was as eternal as the stars. He proposed on a moonlit beach, the waves crashing gently against the shore, a serenade flowing from his guitar.
Tears welled up in Priska's eyes as she uttered the single life-altering word, yes.
The diamond on her finger sparkling under the moonlight was a symbol of their love, or so she thought. Overjoyed, she introduced Edward to her father, MacDonald, a titan of industry, a man who built his empire from the ground up. MacDonald, a seasoned businessman, was known for his sharp intellect and cautious nature. He observed Edward with a keen eye, sensing something amiss beneath the charming facade. His paternal instincts whispered warnings, but Priska, blinded by love, dismissed them as mere overprotectiveness. Despite his reservations, MacDonald gave the couple his blessing, his love for Priska outweighing his doubts. However, he couldn't shake the feeling of unease that lingered like a shadow over the impending nuptials. The wedding was a grand affair, a spectacle of wealth and opulence. Priska, radiant in her designer gown, believed it was the start of her fairy tale ending. However, the joyous occasion marked the beginning of a chilling ordeal. After the honeymoon, MacDonald, true to his reservations, distanced Priska from the family business. He restricted her access to funds, a decision that infuriated Priska.
She confronted her father, accusing him of not trusting her judgment, of trying to control her life.
Blinded by her love for Edward, she failed to see the protective shield her father was trying to erect around her. Their argument culminated in a bitter separation, leaving a chasm between father and daughter. Priska, hurt and angry, moved into a lavish apartment with Edward, completely severing ties with MacDonald. She was determined to prove her father wrong, to show him that her love for Edward was stronger than any business empire. Isolated from her family and friends, Priska became increasingly reliant on Edward. However, the man she thought she knew began to change. The loving and attentive fiancé slowly morphed into a controlling and demanding husband.
Edward's charming facade crumbled, revealing a manipulative and callous individual beneath. He demanded access to her finances, pressuring her to liquidate assets to fund his business ventures.
When she hesitated, he resorted to emotional manipulation, using guilt and affection as weapons. He belittled her opinions, mocked her dreams, and chipped away at her self-esteem. The music that once filled their home with joy became a tool of manipulation, each note a reminder of the love she thought they had.
Unbeknownst to Priska, I was the mastermind behind a cunning plan, a wolf disguised in sheep's clothing.
He had assembled a group of individuals as cunning and unscrupulous as himself, all drawn together by greed and the promise of a hefty payout.
Our target? Priska's inheritance.
We devised an elaborate scheme to drain her fortune, leaving her penniless and alone.
Edward, playing the role of the loving husband, would convince her to sign over her assets. Her trust in him absolute and unwavering.
The plan was flawless on paper, each step meticulously planned and rehearsed.
They underestimated, however, the depth of a father's love and MacDonald's business acumen. which had saved him from countless threats in the cutthroat corporate world.
Their carefully constructed web of lies began to unravel when one of Edward's accomplices, plagued by guilt, contacted MacDonald. He revealed the full extent of their plan, the imminent danger Priska was in. MacDonald, though heartbroken by my daughter's betrayal, I sprang into action. I had been secretly monitoring Edward's activities, my suspicions never entirely quelled. I hired a team of private investigators, their findings confirming my worst fears. Edward was nothing but a con man, a predator who preyed on vulnerable women of affluence. MacDonald was faced with a heart-wrenching dilemma: expose Edward and risk further alienating his daughter, or continue observing, hoping to find an opportunity to intervene without shattering Priska's illusions. He chose the latter, his love for his daughter fueling his every move. Meanwhile, cracks began to appear in Priska and Edward's relationship. The constant pressure to access her finances, the subtle threats veiled as suggestions, the emotional manipulation. Priska, though blinded by love, wasn't oblivious. Her instincts, honed by years of navigating the treacherous waters of high society, whispered warnings.
I started questioning Edward's motives, my doubts growing with each passing day. Yet I clung to the hope that I was wrong, that my love for him was enough to overcome any obstacle.
One evening, while Edward was out, Priska stumbled upon a series of incriminating messages on his phone. The messages, exchanged with his accomplices, detailed their plan, leaving no room for doubt. The realization hit her like a tidal wave, washing away the love and trust she had so blindly placed in him. Horrified and heartbroken, Priska confronted Edward. The mask of love finally shattered, revealing the monster beneath.
How could you? How could you do this to me?
Coldly. I never loved you, Priska. You were just a means to an end.
Fearing for her life, Priska tried to escape, but Edward's accomplices, alerted to the situation, had surrounded the house. She was trapped, a prisoner in her own home.
Desperate. Help! Someone please help me!
Just when all hope seemed lost, a familiar figure appeared, a beacon of light in the encroaching darkness. It was MacDonald, flanked by his security detail, their arrival as swift and unexpected as a summer storm. A fierce struggle ensued, the air thick with the sounds of breaking glass and shouts of alarm.
Shouting. Get her! Don't let her escape!
Angrily, we've got her cornered, boss.
Determined. We won't let them take her.
But MacDonald and his team fought bravely, determined to save Priska from the clutches of Edward and his gang. Edward and his gang, outmatched and outsmarted, were apprehended. As the police led them away, Edward's eyes met Priska's, filled not with remorse but with a chilling emptiness that sent shivers down her spine. In that moment she finally saw him for what he truly was, a heartless manipulator devoid of any genuine emotion.
Sobbing. Oh, Father, I'm so sorry. I should have listened to you. MacDonald. Softly. It's all right, my dear. You're safe now. That's all that matters.
Safe in her father's arms, Priska broke down, the weight of her ordeal crushing her spirit. MacDonald held her close, his love unwavering despite her past mistakes. He had been right all along, his intuition proving to be her saving grace. This harrowing experience became a turning point for both father and daughter. It shattered the wall that had separated them, paving the way for forgiveness and reconciliation. Priska, filled with remorse for her past actions, apologized to her father, acknowledging the depth of his love and wisdom.
Determined. I promise, Father, I will use this experience to help others. No one should go through what I did.
In the aftermath of the ordeal, Priska dedicated herself to helping others who had fallen victim to similar schemes. She used her wealth and influence to raise awareness about the dangers of manipulation and the importance of trusting one's instincts. And through it all, her bond with her father remained unbreakable, a testament to the enduring power of love and forgiveness.